On one random afternoon in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it rained. Nothing out of the ordinary because it always rains in Baton Rouge around August. Plus, it was nothing more than a light drizzle. Except this drizzle was different. It did not stop. All into the night, into the early hours of the next morning, and then into the afternoon. You might be thinking, a light drizzle? How did the flood come about with only drizzling? Well, the water filled up fairly quickly in the Amy and Comey River. Baton Rougeans expected the water to go down as always, but it came with a warning. The water is going to be on top of the roof, shouted my neighbor. This rumor was starting to spread throughout the neighborhood, but my family nor I believed it. We had lived in the neighborhood for 9 years and had never experienced flooding. I vividly remember Hurricane Gustav in 2008.
2 million Louisianans, as you're reporting, Neely, have left the city. The fury of Gustav, up close and personal. Stand up here if you can. Stand up right on that edge of it. I got you. Up on the edge. Back up, back up. Back up and stand up here. All right, here it is. You're looking at the west side, the west bank of the Industrial Canal. You can see what Gustav is doing, the power in those concrete levees so far holding, but I think we have to get back. Let's get beyond the flood. This wind is getting pretty good. I'm gonna brace myself here. You can see all up and down the downwind side of the levee. The water is beginning to overtop it, but the levees have not been breached. The walls are holding.
Everyone had stayed in my place when the storm occurred. So why couldn't we do it this time? Well, those rumors about the water rising started to become a reality, and I could not believe it. It felt like I was living in a fever dream. I was in so much shock and disbelief. I had never expected to be out of a house and car for over 3 years. That day we left our home to go into the main road out of the neighborhood. We did not make it. Our truck stopped in the middle of the floodwaters and we had to get out and walk. And of course I wore Nike slides, shorts, and an old t-shirt like a crazy person, and then ended up losing my shoe. I did not own rain boots at the time, which is kind of crazy. Life sucked. I was a newly 13-year-old who was still young and ignorant to how drastic my life would change. I did not know what the future held, and I just wanted to get back to the life I knew. I can't relate this reality switch to COVID-19, but both were on the same level of drastic, coming-of-age moments in life. I lived with my brother for a week and my aunt for a couple of months, then eventually moved in with my brother for a year and a half. My twin nephews were only 3 months then, and I got to see them every day, even capturing their month-old photo shoots. When the rain finally came to a halt and the water finally went down, we were able to assess the damage. Everything was ruined and the smell of sewer was everywhere. All of our clothes, shoes, and cars were ruined. The only clothes I had were the clothes in my Vera Bradley bag. No one knew just how much damage this storm would cause because we had never experienced this. I pretty much lost all of my baby pictures and even my laptop. I do not live in a flood zone, but my grandmother does, and all of her things were completely destroyed as well. Her house still remains boarded up and has been raised off the ground. During this time, the governor declared a state of emergency and we received some assistance from the government. There was also a curfew in place to ward off any looters who were looking to take from people's vacant homes. Here's the funny clip that made everyone's day a little brighter the day of the flood.
The problem that we're seeing is it is literally bumper to bumper traffic between here and there. And it's weird to be talking about traffic on a Sunday, but that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with increased traffic. We're dealing with stop and go. We're dealing with people that really shouldn't be out. The thing is, if you don't have to travel, don't, unless you're leaving here. And if you have the question of whether or not the floods might be reaching your home, it's probably time to go. I was speaking to fire department officials earlier today, and they said, the problem that they're dealing with these slow evacuations is that some people were judging whether or not they should leave, and by the time they decided, it was already too late and they're stuck. So that's what we're seeing now, and we're seeing people trying to get out of this area. We're seeing people trying to, I don't know if some of them are trying to sightsee, but that's not a good idea, because you don't want to be an impedance on any traffic that might be coming through the area, and you don't want to put yourself at any risk. If you don't have to travel, don't. You stay home. And if you need to evacuate, if you have to ask yourself the question, it's probably time to evacuate. But we're keeping an eye on things right now. On Old Perkins Road, I've actually got the road signs up. Road's closed. They're not allowing through traffic at all. Please don't try to come through this area. This is actually just a little bit past Plantation Boulevard. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on things.
I can say that this flood allowed me to meet some of my neighbors, and everyone was so helpful. We were all we had, so we had to come together. I appreciated how the Cajun Navy volunteered to rescue people from their homes and even took the time to read people's public posts and outcries and assist trapped people in their attics and homes. Life got better for everyone though, because we were able to move into better spaces or update our current homes. I love my home now, and I guess you could say I won in the end because I do not have the same pink bedroom I had at 10. It did bring some scrutiny to the parish though. My neighborhood ended up suing the parish. People were confused about how rain, and only rain, could destroy all of our things. They also questioned what initiatives were taken before and after to prevent this now and in the future. In the end, this is something no person ever wants to encounter. It brought good things, but it was an experience, to say the least. Thanks for watching.